What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We are so close to the NFL draft, so we're back here again with another draft rebuild, this time with the Chargers. Someone had asked me to do this, and it sounded like a good idea, so here we are with another draft rebuild involving Colston Loveland to the Chargers. The NFL draft is literally tomorrow as I'm recording this. Let's go ahead and jump in and do this Colston Loveland Chargers rebuild in Madden 25. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. YouTube tells me that 85% of the people that watch these videos aren't actually subscribed. So if you do fall in the 85%, want to change that as I'm on the road to 10,000 subs, that would be greatly appreciated. Once the draft is fully over after Saturday, obviously, come Monday, we'll be finally starting the new look rebuild series. Been looking forward to it for so damn long, but obviously we can't really do anything until after the draft. And then I'll let the weekend happen. So these guys out there that are absolute goats that make rosters and add all the rookies to the rosters and make, like, you know, new look rosters, hopefully there'll be some good ones by Monday, and I'll probably show you guys which ones we're using, and we'll be doing that throughout you know, the rest of the summer, and then whatever else we decide to do after that. So here's what the Chargers are looking like. So obviously some of the main additions we've, you know, talked about before in the video, but here we are again. I think this was the last free agency rebuild that I did, but obviously their tight end position, they did sign Tyler Conklin, but I still don't think that takes them out of, you know, drafting one of the better tight ends in the draft class in Colston Loveland. Will Dissly was the one running routes for them mainly last year. You have Andre James, who they got off the Raiders, who got waived, and you got Mekhi Becton, who they got from the Eagles. Obviously, they signed Najee Harris, and then on the defensive side of the football, you have Benjamin St. Juste that they added, and then you still have Elijah Molden, Gilman, and yeah, so this is basically what it looked. And then Dante Jackson, one of the bigger additions, I guess, and Colomac obviously came back for another year. So let's go ahead and jump into this draft, and of course, like I said, with our first round pick, we'll be taking Colston Loveland, and we'll figure out after that. I mean, technically, if you really look at it, we need D-line, we need a wide receiver, so there's quite a few needs on this team. Tight end is obviously one of those, so we'll see if the Chargers do decide to address tight end in round one. So Tyler Warren's one of the better tight ends as well, but Loveland and Warren, I think, are the two, and Loveland actually got drafted to the Broncos, so we're gonna have to you know, trade for him here in just a second. So who should the Broncos take? Well, in yesterday's video I did Omarion Hampton, so I'm gonna go ahead and draft him again so we can send him over to Denver Broncos. That way they have themselves a running back. So Hampton is obviously not going to be who we rock with, but that's who we're going to take right now, so we can send him to the Broncos here in just a little bit. But let's go ahead and get to our second round pick. If only the rosters were accurate, the Broncos probably wouldn't have taken Colston Loveland because they have Evan Ingram, but it's not. So let's take a look. We have the left tackle, we have a wide receiver. We definitely need another wide receiver, so I don't hate the idea of that. We definitely need defensive line help too. So a lot of different ways we can go about this, but I think Isaiah Bond added next to Ladd McConkey and Quentin Johnston sounds like a decent little idea. So I do think I'm going to go ahead and take Isaiah Bond, speedy wide receiver in round 2, elite speed. So welcome to the Chargers, Isaiah Bond, going through true value, 98 speed. You really can't beat that. So we've added 2 weapons on the offense. To me, round 3 needs to be going to the D-line. It's kind of poverty right now. That's kind of the main thing we need to address. So if we can get a D tackle or an end here, that'd be great. So we have Samson Dart, we have a corner, Brenningstool, we have DeMonte Capehart, we have Stackhouse. So I'm kind of hoping to get like one of these good D linemen, but may not be a great option on the board for us to take, but we'll see. So we got Jordan Birch, who is a power rusher, and then we got Tyron Ingram Dawkins, 280 pounds, could play him in, run stopper, A power moves, B tackle. Actually doesn't look too bad. Speed is poor, which we don't really need him to be fast, I guess. I mean, it helps, but not really what we truly need. Let's look at D tackle really quickly as well. Riley Mills, and then you got Peebles. I don't know how to say that, but Riley Mills out of West, I think that, or Notre Dame. Block shooting, B power moves, B tackle. He also looks pretty good. Speed is great, so I actually do think I'm going to go ahead and take Riley Mills here in round 3. So Riley Mills will be the pick. 201 true value. Normal dev, 76 speed. He looked good, but not a great pick at all, so that definitely sucks. But we needed D-line help. We may have threw away a pick, but it's all good. So I'm going to go add Colston Loveland to the team, and we'll go take a look at the lineup going into year number 1. Let's go ahead and take a look at this lineup for year number 1 once we now have that all figured out. So this is what it's going to look like. Our offense is looking pretty good. Obviously, we added kind of the 2 biggest weaknesses with needing another wide receiver and a tight end, and we have that all figured out. The offensive line looks really good, especially your tackles, obviously. The guards are fine. Center could be better, but nothing to complain about. You have Najee Harris in the backfield. Justin Herbert still is the quarterback. They also drafted us Will Howard. And then on the defense side of the football, this is where it looks a little bit worse. We need another middle linebacker. We have some young corners, but I know Still, I think, is somewhat young. Tart, and then Riley Mills was just not a great pick at all, so that's my fault. I apologize. But we're going to go ahead and assimilate year number 1. We know our defense could be an issue this year, but maybe it surprises us and it's better than we think. I will see you guys at the end of year number 1, where I'm hoping we'll be in the playoffs, but we shall see. So we finished up at 8-9, but somehow, some way that is good enough to make the playoffs in the AFC. Quite surprised by that. We just edged out the Dolphins there, so we're the 7th seed, and we get to go on the road to play the Buffalo Bills, so it's not going to be easy. I assume our offense was good and our defense was bad. That's my assumption, but I could be wrong. Offensively, we were middle of the pack, I guess, and defensively, we were not good. So yeah, defensively, we need a lot of help there. 29 and 10 from Herbert. We had 1,100 yards and 18 touchdowns. Wow, from Najee Harris. What a season from him. Ladd McConkey still fantastic. Loveland was good as a rookie right away as a tight end, 880 yards. Bond had 11 touchdowns as well. Najee Harris with 5 receiving. Najee Harris had if you had Najee Harris in fantasy football and this season that he just had, you'd be feeling pretty good about yourself. Donte Jackson, 4 interceptions. 1 for Khalil Mack, 1 from Henley, 1 from Colston, 1 from Molden, 1 from Still, and 1 from Benjamin St. Juste. But without further ado, let's jump in and play the Buffalo Bills. I don't have a great feeling about this, but maybe we can go out there and outscore them. We'll have to see. So Justin Herbert versus Josh Allen. I believe this would be the first time they've met up in the postseason, as they go up 7-0 pretty easily on our defense. We kick a field goal, and they're up 14-3. We'll score a touchdown, and we do get a stop on defense where the half was over, and we take the lead, 17-14. Okay, we're in position to take the lead, but unfortunately we did not take advantage. And now we are in position to take the lead. It's 4th and 9, I think, and we will not win. 17-21 loss in wildcard week into the Buffalo Bills. I'm not too discouraged by that. It looked like we had a chance to actually win the game there at the end, but we have a lot more work to be done, especially on this defense. If the offense can stay exactly the way it was, I'd be fine with that. But if we can add more pieces to the defense, we'll be in a great position, and that's the only thing that really needs to be figured out right now. So thankfully, we're walking into this offseason with a ton of cap space, $150 million to be exact. So there should be a lot of money being able to be spent on this defense. But let's go take a look to see how many big free agents we have to worry about. So we have like Rashawn Slater, Khalil Mack. You have Gilman, which we do have, obviously... I'm forgetting the other free safety's name, but we do have a free safety back there technically if we wanted to rock. Elijah Molden, I was trying to think about. So first and foremost, Rashawn Slater. I said I want to keep this offense the same, so Rashawn Slater to me is a no-brainer. Khalil Mack is 32 years old, but he is a superstar X factor, so I do think I'm going to re-sign him too. So we'll bring him back. And then Gilman, 20 years old, free safety, and then Benjamin St. Juste, Donte Jackson. I'm probably going to let these two walk. I kind of want to redo my cornerback room. Johnston we can not worry about, and then yeah, we'll let the rest of these guys go for now. So the question is, do I want to re-sign Gilman? We have Elijah Molden, who's 76 overall. You know, I feel like I want to see if I can maybe do better at the free safety spot. So we're going to leave our money open to a $99 million in cap space. We're going to hit free agency with this. So we're going to be aggressive, hopefully, by adding to the defense. The offense is going to stay exactly the same, like I said. I don't want to touch anything on the offense. I feel like it was pretty good. Bond's up to an 81, Levin's an 83. So yeah, I don't really want him in Najee Harris, which is not surprising. He had a fantastic season. Now superstar Dev. Johnston is fine being the third wide receiver, but might have to eventually replace him. So offensively, I really don't want to look at anything unless if there's something I just can't pass on. Defensively, we need a lot more work on this side of the football, especially our D-line and our corner room. Khalil Mack and Derwin James are superstar X factors, which is awesome, but there's so much more we need to address. So let's just go ahead and hopefully get to work here. So this is what I'm talking about. If we take a look at the market for defensive players, we have Kirby Joseph, Greg Rousseau, and Deron Bland all interested in coming to the Chargers. Obviously, I'm hoping to land all three. That would make a huge impact on our defense. But the Jets are right there also with Kirby Joseph, which does make sense because obviously not in the game. But in real life, the Jets hired Aaron Glenn, so Kirby Joseph could reunite with his defensive coordinator. So there's connection there. We're also going for Poona Ford. There really isn't great to tackle options. There usually never is in free agency. So we're going to see if we can get these three to sign along with Kirby Joseph. And hopefully Kirby Joseph decides to choose us. And he does. We get all four players. So look at that. Three impactful players to add to our defense. Now, Greg Rousseau is not going to stay at left end. He's going to be moved to outside linebacker, obviously, in this particular scheme. Although what we could do, maybe something we could, really think about is maybe moving this defense to a 4-3 instead. Do we want to do that? Because Henley, what is Tooley's? Is he good? He's a speed rusher, so no, never mind. So he'd just be depth at this point. We can move him down to end. But yeah, I think I'll leave it the way it is right now, but obviously Greg Rousseau needs to be moved to left outside linebacker. He's not going to play left in this scenario. So although I'm sure he would be he's a good run stopper, so we could technically leave him down here. But I am going to go ahead and move him down to left outside linebacker just because I want to have him play opposite of Khalil Mack. So him and Khalil Mack, elite pass rushers, obviously going after the quarterback, which is awesome. So I love that. That looks fantastic. We still need left in and right in. We got Deron Bland, and then we obviously added Kirby Joseph. So no matter what, the defense definitely just got better. So that feels great. Tooley's going to be depth. But there's definitely more work to be done. Left in and right in, there just wasn't anybody that good in free agency, unfortunately. But I'm going to see if we can make a trade for an end right now, or even a middle linebacker. Although we maybe could get one of those in the draft. But let's go see if there's some kind of trade I can make before we jump into this draft. They did not find any trades, unfortunately, but instead we're going to go ahead and try to address our middle linebacker problem through free agency with the veteran CJ Mosley, who should sign with us, has no other offers. So obviously once played under Harbaugh, now plays under the other Harbaugh here. So welcome to the Chargers, CJ Mosley. Really good starting middle linebacker for a year, and we'll take it. So D-line needs to be the priority this offseason, obviously. We added Poona Ford, but he's only a one-year stopgap player, so we definitely still need to draft like a DJ Hicks or a TJ Parker. Whatever's in here, we have to go after, obviously, to add to this defense. Offensively, we were great, and I did not touch the offense, obviously. Defensively, things look a little bit better by adding Greg Rousseau, Deron Bland, and Kirby Joseph. That was a great free agency class to have. Corner is also still an issue, too, so we got to keep that in mind. So corner and D-line is the main priority going into this draft. So let's go ahead and see if we can make it happen, and we'll be in a good position. So we're going to be picking number 20 because we did make the playoffs. So let's go see what is available to us at pick number 20. So Garrett Nussmeier goes to the Jaguars. Cook, Lucky, and Lenore Sellers all off the board. So let's see what we have at our disposal. So we have TJ Parker. We have a good left tackle, but we don't need one right now, obviously. We have Barbacar Traore. We have Zachariah Branch, DJ Hicks, which I kind of name dropped him, obviously. Anthony Hill. So if we need a middle linebacker still, Anthony Hill would have been an awesome pick. But Barbacar Traore, I'm probably pronouncing his name incorrectly, but I think I'm going to go ahead and start with him. A pursuit, A hit power, B injury, B player recognition. So he's going to be our first round pick. As I mentioned, we need to add some defensive line help. So we get a young D lineman, 73 in true value, 80 speed. But I'm very happy to have him added to the team. Now, let's go see if we can get a corner or a... whoops, I'm not even supposed to have this pick. My bad. So I definitely think I need to trade this. Well, weirdly enough, it's... I think this needs to go to... Well, I had to do this earlier to get Loveland on the team. I always have to make some magic happen, which is why I shouldn't have this early of a pick. But I'm not really sure how to send this. I think this should be the Commander's pick. Or maybe, maybe I'm thinking of something else, actually. I don't know. But whatever. I'm going to rock. Actually, no. I know what I'm thinking of now. I should have that Broncos pick at 52. So let's just trade that because that's where we should be picking. So, although I'm not even sure the Broncos are supposed to have this pick I'm about to give them, but whatever. So, we're going to give them this second round pick that I really shouldn't even have anyway. And we're going to pick where we're supposed to be picking the Broncos at 52. So, we'll send that over, even though it makes no sense. But you guys get it. I'm not even supposed to have this pick to begin with. So let's go to pick 52. And let's see what's available to us here. So Jelani McDonald, Zachariah Branch. And then we'll take a look. So we got Drew Aller, Samuel, Sertain Perkins, Corleone, Bear Alexander. Bear Alexander might have to be the pick here. Unless there's a good corner available to take. Other than that, I'm taking Bear Alexander. So we have Avion Terrell, D'Angelo Pons, Damari Brown. But I do think I'm probably just going to end up taking Bear Alexander here, because we definitely need more help on the D-line. So Alexander going to be added next to Traore, and now Poona Ford as well. So welcome the Chargers, Bear Alexander. Hidden Dev, going to be starting right away. So gives us some stability at the D-line spot. And now let's go to round 3, where I'm hoping to land ourselves a cornerback if we can. So corner, what we got? We got Drew Aller, Delane. Mansour Delane, actually, I think is pretty fast, if I'm not mistaken. So great speed. So I do think I'm going to go in and take him here. and that will be our draft. So 152 true value, but hidden dev, 93 speed. So happy to have him. So I will see you guys with the lineup for year 2. We made the playoffs last year, and our defense should definitely get better with what we've added this offseason, but we shall see. So obviously, offensively, we didn't change too much. We do have Le'Veon Moss now added to the team, but we got Ladd McConkey, Isaiah Bond, and Johnson still. Still have Davis. You got Rice and Jalen Reagor down here. Najee Harris, Moss, Justin Herbert. Offensive line is basically the same. On the defensive side of the football, you have Kirby Joseph that we added, CJ Mosley, Greg Rousseau, Derwin James, Bear Alexander, which we're going to go in and star him. Still Deron Bland, Cam Hart. So corner room still needs a little bit more work, but we made the playoffs last year, so the hope is we'll make it again. Our defense should, in theory, be much better this year, but we will have to see. So I'll see you guys hopefully in the postseason again. We're an 85 defense now compared to, I believe it was 80 last year. We'll see how it goes. At the end of the season, we finish up at 15-2, and if you look at it, after we went 15-2, we don't have a home game. So that means the Chiefs went 16-1. That's actually kind of wild. That's insane. So 15-2, you would think usually gets you the bye, but it doesn't. We're the 5th seed instead at 15-2, which is just insane. Let's take a look at the player stats. Najee Harris continues to be elite, by the way. Offensively, 9th in the NFL, and then defensively, hopefully, we're much better. 2nd. There we go. That's what we wanted to see. So 34-8 from Justin Herbert, 20 touchdowns, 13 yards from Najee Harris, 1,200 from Ladd McConkey, Colston Loveland with 8 touchdowns, 900 yards from Isaiah Bond, Johnson with 7 touchdowns, not bad. Sacks-wise, we had 8.5 from Khalil Mack, 8.5 from Greg Rousseau, 7.5 from Bear Alexander, 4.5 from Poona Ford, 1.5, 1.5. Very solid stuff. 7 interceptions from our free safety edition, and 5 from Deron Bland. Our defense got so much better overnight, which is just so exciting. But now we get to play in round 1, which does suck. We get to play the Texans, which actually interesting, because obviously we all know the last time Herbert went down in our NRG Stadium, it didn't go so well. So hopefully we get some redemption here, take down CJ Stroud and the Texans, and hopefully Herbert doesn't throw 3 interceptions or whatever it was. Let's go ahead, jump in, and see if we can't take down the Texans. So Herbert versus CJ Stroud for the 2nd time in the postseason. First time for Herbert, and it goes so well as they'll go up 7-0 to start things off, and we will get an interception from Kirby Joseph. It just continues to generate turnovers, but so far our offense is not showing up. This is not great. So 17 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. I'm going to see if I can't steal some points here before this half is over, because I'm not liking where we're at, where we're sitting right now if we go into this half down 11. I would love to see if I can't steal either field goal or a touchdown or something along that. So I'm going to go to Colston Loveland here. Can I get out of bounds? No, I'm going to get tackled in bounds, so I have to burn my 2nd timeout. So that's going to be a nice little gain, but we need more, obviously, so that's what we'll be looking for. So let's go all go here. 41-yard line, so we're going to throw a couple shots at the end zone. Okay, can I change this to where we're going to go scissors here. That way I know where Isaiah Bond is actually going. I think this is going to be a tough catch, but he's going to make it. Herbert throws a dot. 6 seconds left. Do we kick the field goal or do we burn? This is going to be an interesting decision. I think I probably should be kicking the field goal here, but go big. Actually, yeah, I think I'm going to kick the field goal. Let's get the field goal. There's only 6 seconds left. Let's not gamble. Let's get some points before the half is over. So the fact that we got some points is still pretty exciting stuff. So let's get these points. We all know Dicker the kicker is going to make it. Maybe we could have went first shot at the end zone, but just to be safe, and we need a score out of the half, and we will get it with a field goal. We get a stop on defense, so we can take the lead here. We do, and we have the ball again. Can we put it on? And yes, 20. Wow, they scored extremely quickly. 20-21. Damn, I thought we had a win there, but all we got to do is get ourselves in field goal range with all 3 timeouts at our disposal. So can we do it is the question. Let's see. Let's find out. They're going to leave Loveland just wide open. So we're going to get in field goal range right out of the gate. So there we go. Loveland just left wide open. So we're going to take advantage of that every single time. We're going to go look at this zig route from Ladd McConkey, who's disgusting with it, and see if I can't gain some more yards here. Yep, they're going to leave him just 5 more yards. We'll call our 2nd timeout, and we'll probably, do one more play. Might even just keep this on the ground, to be honest with you, with Najee Harris. Or I guess this is... Who is in the backfield right now with me? Oh, it is Najee. He's just wearing 17. I didn't recognize his number, I guess. Okay. Let's see what they decide to do. I actually think they left Lad McConkey wide open for a touchdown. They did. So 26-21. Probably could have just kicked the field goal. And I think I'm getting deja vu right now because I'm pretty sure I did this last time. I don't know if I was the Chargers or it was the Chargers against me. I'm pretty sure it was the Chargers against me. And we beat them 28-21. So just like that, we'll get revenge against the Texans, take them down in Wild Card Weekend. I don't even know why I played so much there. I just felt like it. And we're going to go see what we can do in divisional round. And now for divisional round, we get to go to battle with the team that beat us last year in divisional weekend, that being the Buffalo Bills. So we're on the road in Buffalo again. They get off 7-0, but we tie it up, and they will respond again right away. Can we do the same? No. We get the ball at a half, so we can do it right here, but the Bills will go up 7-21. It looks like the Bills might have our number here, unless we're about to score quickly, which we're not. So the Bills right now own us at the moment, so we are going to lose 7-24 in divisional round. It is a step up from last year, obviously, and Herbert finally got his first playoff win last week, but still not where we quite want to be. 15-2 last year. Would have loved to have seen us get the bye, but the Chiefs had to exist. Let's get the offseason. Let's get it to work a little bit more because we're getting closer and closer to the Super Bowl. Only $51 million at our disposal this offseason, which I'm not quite surprised by. Obviously, we, draft or signed a lot of guys in free agency last year, spent a lot of money, so our money is going to be a little bit not there anymore. But Joe Alt, obviously 50-year option will be accepted. Derwin James, would like to keep him. Henley, Tooley, probably have to let go. Zion Johnson, Andre James. So we're going to lose a few starters more than likely if I just look at it. But Derwin James is a must keep in my opinion. So I'm going to see if we can get him. Hopefully he's interest coming back, and he will come back. So nice. Okay, I want Henley as well, only 27, so I'm going to give him a deal as well. But once we get this all done, probably not going to have enough money to sign anybody else. I think Zion Johnson would be the last one. I think I let the rest of these guys walk. Quentin Johnston, I'm going to see if we can do a little bit better. But Zion Johnson, I'd like to keep him as possible, and that'll give us about... Okay, so we keep him. We do lose our starting center and a little bit of depth at the linebacker spot, but I think I'm cool with this, and that's fine. Okay, so let's get into free agency, and let's see if we have anything to worry about here as far as let me rephrase that. I want to see if there's anybody we can go after that we'd want to. So like Aiden Hutchinson, probably don't need him. We don't need Brian Branchell as cool. Jair would be a nice addition to this team though. Obviously having him, Leonard Bond would be cool too. Don't get me wrong, because we don't have a starting center anymore. So if I could free up money to get Jair or Linderbaum, I would be all over that. So that's probably what I'm about to try to do, is restructure some contracts. Let's go all in on this third season, because offensively, we have Isaiah Bond up to an 86. Conklin right now is our starting center, which no, we don't want to do that. Najee Harris is now superstar X Factor, which is insane. Loveland is up. Bub Means is our third wide receiver. So probably have to draft a third wide receiver. Defensively, we definitely need a new middle linebacker. But if you look at it, Kirby Joseph, we've got 4 superstar X Factors. And then, wow, Still is up to an 85 as well, which is great. We need a D tackle. We need a middle linebacker. Although Colston could serve as a starter. And corner room isn't that bad, all things considered. So I guess D tackle and corner would be the main thing. Or D tackle and center would be the main thing I'd really want to address if we could. So is there a D tackle worth going for? I tend to doubt it because they're never usually here. So they have a Digazua, who I guess is serviceable. We could probably try to go for him. Or Brian Brissy, who has no offers right now. We don't have enough money for him, though. Okay, so Jair is not a necessity. I thought it would be, but our corner room actually isn't all that bad. So let's go take a look to see if there's any restructures we can make. So Rashawn Slater could free up $5 million. Greg Rousseau could free up $8 million. Kirby Joseph, $8 million. So yeah, there's definitely some money we could free up. We could free up $32 million by restructuring Herbert's contract. I mean, to me, that's a no-brainer. We're going to go all in. Let's go all in, right? So I'm going to leave it at that. $32 million restructured should give us enough money to go after Brian Brissy, who's only 25 years old, and maybe have enough money left over to go after like Linderbaum, although he's not interested in coming here, so don't think we'll get him. As far as wide receiver, we do have a couple third wide receiver options. Like Demario Douglas would be serviceable enough, so I'm going to go for Demario Douglas, be our third wide receiver, and then D tackle. I would like Brian Brissy. I mean, 25 years old. I don't think you can pass on that. And if there is enough money left over to go for Jair, I am going to go ahead and give him an offer, but I have my doubts that that is a thing. So, no, not quite. Although we'd be super close to giving him an offer. So, I'm actually going to restructure one more contract, and we're going to go after Jair as well. And that will give us a really good team. We'll need a wide receiver, or actually we'll need a center in the draft now. But Rashawn Slater should free up $5 million. $8 million, and then $8 million. So this should give us enough to go after Jair. and we should be in a good position going into next season. So let's see if we can get Jair on this team, and we could go 15-2 again, hopefully. So Jair has interest in coming here, so we'll see if he does decide to sign with us, but this would be our all-in season right here. Now the Patriots are in on him too, so there's no guarantee we win the battle, but we're definitely there for the hopefully to win it. And we don't get him. Damn, so all that we don't get Jair Alexander, so that sucks. We do have Kenny Moore though, who is a superstar depth, so you know, if we're not going to get Jair, we can still get a different corner, and he has no other offers. Jamel Dean, also superstar dev, but Kenny Moore should sign with us pretty easily if I had to guess, and he does. So we get ourselves another corner, so Jair would have been awesome, but what can you do? So it makes our defense an 89 overall, so we should be in a position to make the playoffs again next year, because obviously we're pretty set. Center needs address, and then middle linebacker needs address. So center, middle linebacker, and maybe we got Douglas. We don't need a third wide receiver anymore. So center and middle linebacker going to the draft. So let's go see if we can address that there. So picking at 28, let's go see what we can get at 28th overall. I'm hoping like Justin Flanagan's on the board for us, but we'll see. Actually, he just got taken by the Ravens, so that's really disappointing. They aren't gonna get the center we were kind of hoping for, but there is gonna be, I mean, there's Sutherland on the board though. So Tommy Sutherland out of Florida. We don't have a center at all, so it's probably gonna be where we go with this. So Sutherland, welcome to the Chargers. Gonna be 36 in true value. Only normal dev, but he's still going to start right out of the gate, so really ain't discouraged by that by any means. Would have been nice to see hidden dev, but all good. So pick 60, obviously, as I kind of mentioned, I'm hoping for a middle linebacker starter if there is one, so we'll see if there is one capable. So you have Dave McClain, who is technically a speed rusher, but let's see if he has good coverage at all. B tackle, C to F zone. Not really. So we're not going to go for David McClain here. Let's go see... Is there any other? We have another linebacker, John Norris out of Vanderbilt. Ball, it doesn't really show his coverage, I guess. Okay, so let's go take a look to see. F zone, already don't like it. Okay, let's just go look at middle linebackers then. Is there anybody worth taking here in this draft at all? So we're in round 2 right now. So we have a field general, David McGowan, who has a B tackle, B zone, elite speed. Okay, I'm going to do it. So Daniel McGowan's going to be our second round pick. 31 true value, drafting to 60. Still only normal dev, so just not getting hidden dev players here. I'm let the assistant GM take care of that last pick. And I'll see you guys in the lineup for year number 3. We get to open up the season against the Kansas City Chiefs, but let's first and foremost take a look at our roster going into year 3, where we feel like we should be a contender at this point. So we get a day 1 starter in Sutherland. We have a superstar dev running back behind our superstar X Factor. We have Douglas. We have Isaiah Bond, Lad McConkey, superstar dev now. Defensively, obviously things have gotten much better. McGowan, although he's not going to start right away, he's still a damn good player. Kenny Moore, I mean, this looks like a damn good defense if you ask me. And same thing for the offense. So hopefully this is the year we can go far in the playoffs and make it to the Super Bowl. We shall see. So at the end of the season, we go 14-3. So a little bit worse than last year by 1 game. But this time we actually get the bye, and the Chiefs don't even make the playoffs at all. So that feels great. So no top 3 stat guys for us, but let's take a look at, whoops, not the schedule. We want to look at the stats. So let's take a look at the stats, and then we should be in a nice position to win the Super Bowl. So offensively, 7th in the NFL, continue to be great on offense. Defensively, 3rd in the NFL. So both sides of the ball, exactly where we want to be if you're a contender. Najee Harris continues to be just elite for us. Lad McConkey, Colston Loveland, and Demario Douglas all really solid. Isaiah Bond also nice. Sacks wise, we had 3 guys with multiple sacks, 10.5, 10.5, and 13 for Bill Alexander. You had 4 receptions from Tarheeb Still, 3 from Henley, 3 from Deron Bland, 3 from Kirby Joseph, and 2 from Elijah Molden. So let's go ahead and jump into divisional weekend to see who we get to play, and we'll be hopefully on our road to the Super Bowl this year as we get to play the Cleveland Browns. All right, let's go ahead, jump in and play Cleveland at home. Let's see if we can get to the AFC Championship. Obviously, one thing that is very terrifying about this team is they do have Abdul Carter and Myles Garrett. They have Jalen Monroe as their starting quarterback, it looked like. So this will not be easy. They got some guys that can get after the quarterback, but so do we. So we're down 7-0 to start things off. We will tie it up 7-7. I would love to take another step, obviously, getting to the AFC Championship. We made it to the divisional weekend last year, and we'll go up 10-7, get an intercept or a fumble recovery. Don't do anything with the turnover, though. That's disappointing. And we're just not taking a affirmative lead here. There we go, 7-16. I don't think the Browns have enough time to stop the clock, and we're going to win in an ugly fashion, 16-14, but a win is a win, as we always say. So let's go to the AFC Championship and see who is sitting in front of us there, because we have beaten the Browns. Maybe I'm thinking about the Ravens because they'll be the team that we see in the AFC Championship, but we shall see. It's actually going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars, and it's not the Ravens, it's not the Bills, and it's not the Chiefs. And the Jaguars are starting Garrett Nussmeier, I believe, at this point. So Trevor Lawrence must just be an afterthought for this team now, as we start off with the ball, and we will go down and score a touchdown. 7-0, and I would have loved to see 14, but the Jags score a field goal. There we go, 14-3. Interception from Derwin James, 21-3. So as long as we don't blow the 27-0 lead like the Chargers did the last time they played the Jags, we're obviously don't have a 27-0 lead, but you get the point. We'll be in the Super Bowl, and we're going to the Super Bowl. Another interception there at the end, so Nussmeier was not ready for this. 6-24 victory. We're on to the Super Bowl, so let's go see who's in front of us there, and hopefully we can take it all the way home. All right, so here we are in the Super Bowl going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. So let's go ahead and see if we can win the Super Bowl. The fact that we've made it all the way here would be obviously a big payoff if we're able to take down Jalen Hurts and the Eagles to win the whole thing. And we will go down 7-0. We will tie it 7-7, and they respond right back. 14 now. They're up 21-7. We are in trouble here if we don't score very quickly. We're on our own 4. We get the ball out of half. Need to take this. Okay. We need to score here in a worst way possible, and we're just not going to. We got all the way to Super Bowl, just get absolutely obliterated by the Eagles, unfortunately. Sometimes that is what happens, and that is how this video is going to end today. So, fortunately, fall short of our goal of bringing Justin Herbert to a Lombardi trophy. Got one step closer, but we will end it there. So, hope you guys enjoyed this rebuild. I have one more draft rebuild for you guys. Obviously, I'll probably record it or probably upload it pretty early in the day because we have the draft that night, and then on Friday I'll probably do a rebuild on one of the teams that drafted in the first round. Obviously, maybe it's a surprise pick, or maybe a trade goes down. We can do a rebuild on that. So it all depends. And then after the weekend, we'll obviously start the new look rebuild series. So a lot of exciting times. Make sure you're subscribed if you aren't already. I'll see you on the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.